tried praying. Religion couldn't make me happy. I tried peace, oh Lord, but the work was much too enticing. Now I'm moving up, not slowing down. A problem child, running wild. I'm fighting the fear of knowing that we're all just pieces to the puzzle, and I'm losing my mind, just trying to fit in. Oh Lord, save my soul. I am the problem I can't solve. Gave a damn about money. Somebody said that love was free, but I found out, yes I did, that the whole world was up against me. Now this time I'm getting down, not slowing up, a problem child, running wild. I'm fighting the fear of knowing that we're all just pieces to the puzzle, and I'm losing my mind, just trying to fit in. Oh Lord, save my soul. I am the problem I can't solve. So I'm gonna introduce the band real quick. All we need is a drummer for people who only need a beat. Yeah. What's his face? You said you're gonna teach us how to play the bass. Well, since we got a little time to waste, might as well get it on. Scott's gonna add a little guitar to make it easy to move your feet. Fairweather friends, they go away and come back again. They're just like leaves blowing in the wind. There go my Fairweather Friends. Oh, my Fairweather Friends. Oh, my friends, they hate the rain. They stay inside and watch me wash away. They can't tread water when it's sink or swim, but they travel miles to talk about the mess that I'm in. Oh, my Fairweather Friends. So if there's an answer I find in myself, oh, I have a problem with asking for help. Oh, 'cause it's hard to depend on them Fairweather friends. So if there's an answer I find in myself, oh, I have a problem with asking for help. Oh, 'cause it's hard to depend on a Fairweather friend. Thank you.
I'm gonna have a few questions with Rudy here, and then he'll play a couple more after we do some questions here, and then we'll have some questions from the audience as well. Rudy, you have any main themes that you were trying to express in those first two songs?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Problem Child and Fairweather Friend. Tell us about the first one.
Well, Problem Child, I wrote about a year ago. I was putting together a project called Music and Madness, and really it was I was 25, I think, yeah, if I do my math right. I'm 26 now. So I was kind of going through this thing where, it's kind of taking the concepts that you were, that your family taught you, where you come from, and kind of facing them up against the real world. And there's things that you learn about it that's you didn't know, but then there's also things that, you can, I guess, find some peace in knowing that you were brought up the right way. So Problem Child was my moment of like finding myself going against the grain, like essentially saying, what was the line I said? Religion, I tried praying, religion couldn't make me happy because it was a time when I was low, Or I tried peace, but war was too enticing because, it's like you want to punch somebody, you're so mad sometimes, but they tell you that it's not what you should do. So I'm a problem child running wild. It's all exaggeration. I wasn't out there, Well, there was that one. We won't talk about that.
And tell us a little bit about Fairweather.
Oh, Fairweather Friends. Yeah. I wrote that after, and that was out of falling out. I've always had these. I have a lot of friends, and I don't really try to ever make enemies, but when, something bad happens in my life, it's like, devastating to me. So I had a situation where, I had some friends, that I depended on, and then when I leaned on them, or I guess they depended on me, and then when I did that, in turn, it didn't work out. So it was just like saying, forget friends. It was a loner thing. But there are happy songs coming, I promise.
Do you normally find yourself writing from a first-person perspective, or do you ever make up characters?
No, I always make up characters. Even if I'm playing myself, I'm still a character. So, yeah, and Fairweather Friends, you know, it's like, or actually, I had a songwriting thing in Atlanta just recently, and I was working with these guys that are Grammy Award winning, you know, platinum selling, and they're telling me, we need you to not be such a narrator, not be so omnipotent. Get into the story, you know, and tell it like you're there. So recently, some of these new songs that I'm, you know, writing are hopefully a little bit more like that. So, but I'm mostly, you know, just like telling a story about something that, you know, because at the time that I started writing, I hadn't really had too many personal experiences to, you know, pull from, or, you know, ones that I wanted to talk about. So like, I had to pull from stories. So I would watch movies, you know, read books, do whatever.
Well, moving on to having more experiences, do you feel like you're going to tell them from a narrator's perspective or from your own?
Well, now that I can, you know, that's the thing about the artist is when you write the music now, as you've, you know, done it, you can tell it. Like I can sit there and make it, you know, make perfect sense for you guys to be like, well, I was here, you know, and there. But you kind of pull it like from, you know, I guess I'm gonna tell stories, little stories, and in moments they're not me, they are me. Like I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. These are, I mean, patience. I guess I'd have to talk about the songs in advance to answer that question fully. But
Okay.
you know, the other ones are this one, Patience, is about me learning how to slow down. You know.
How do you guys normally put together the music bed for the lyrics that you're singing? You guys normally start with a rhythm, you start with a melody, you start maybe just with a lyric?
Well, it always differs. Like with this particular situation, I had written the songs previously. These are like family members, not necessarily my band. They are the band, but they're like, you know, anyone that knows me knows that I have a crew, and so they they were so gracious to help me with this, and we got together, and I had given them some, you know, some really rough drafts of these songs, and voice memos. I was sick, you know, and so we put it together in a way that, you know, by the time you're done doing it, you don't really know how it was made. You're just like, oh, that piece was from this person. So she did something on the drums for this one record that we're about to play, or this one song that we're about to play, that is amazing. But that's the arrangement, musical part of it. But from a lyrical thing, I constantly use my notes in my iPhone. And, you know, people say, like, you know, you have to go to a room and sit there and create. I create. Now I can, you know, have a garage band on my phone. I'll sit there and, you know, change lyrics and, you know, go through that whole process, you know, while I'm doing normal things, you know. So, but yeah. And then, you guys have anything to add to that? Okay.
What do you think your strengths are as a songwriter?
The ability to, I guess, empathy. The ability to be able to kind of like take on someone else's pain and put it into, you know, my music, and also, you know, put my own pain into the music, or my joy, or, you know, whatever it is. I think that's really anyone's. If any good songwriter should be able to do that, for sure.
Well,
but
and you
I'm
just mentioned.
not saying that I'm. Anyways. Yeah.
You were recently at a songwriters conference. Was that to kind of break down the knowledge that you already had, maybe start a new practice towards maybe
Songwriters
exposing
conference.
weaknesses?
Which-
I thought you just mentioned something about.
Oh,
you've
no,
been
no,
around.
no. No, I'm sorry. I was working on some music for a new album with some producers. Actually, Chris Henderson and Patrick Collier. Hopefully, I'm saying that right, Pat. I'm sorry. But we were putting together music for a project, and so we were writing different music. You know, they wanted to give me the type B to my type A, essentially. So they were kind of like breaking me down as a songwriter while we were in the process of creating, and they were just like, "Yo, get out of your head and get into the moment," you know. And that's yeah, it wasn't a conference, but it was like a conference to me, I guess. So Yeah.
Well, do you feel like they exposed some good weaknesses that maybe you hadn't discussed with other songwriters previously? People maybe that you had created music with that these guys exposed that you hadn't considered before.
I guess the funny thing is it's like the pot calling the kettle black. I would point that out in other writers, but never really think about it when it came to myself. I used to think it was a strength to be able to, for instance, I have a song called Weddings and Funerals, which was about a guy that goes to a wedding and, sees the whole thing happen and lets it happen. And it's like he wants to die. So it's, the comparison between their happy day and his, sad day. So, but that wasn't my personal, so I was telling it and was just like, so when it came to me doing that, it's like, okay, cool, to be able to write from there, even though I've never been in that situation. I thought that was a strength, but you want to also be able to tell people, what's really going on with you. Also, I forget who said this, but you have to really represent the time that you're in. You have to, an artist has to really speak about the place that they're in history, So.
Do you feel like there are themes that you constantly go back to?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anyone in particular?
Love.
No.
My last name's Love. It's always about love. Everything's about love, really. But you'll just kind of toss back and forth between different concepts. As you grow, you might have a concept that you wrote as a kid, and then as you get a little bit older, you start to, get smarter and like say, okay, well maybe let me shift that around. So like I'll recycle ideas definitely, but I try to always approach it from like, okay, I want to talk about something I've never talked about, but
Rudy Love Jr. and the Flame are going to play a couple more songs, and then it's Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, write them down. Get ready.
Soul. Some hearts were built to roam, but all of them are easily broken. Oh, patience, hold me tight before I say goodbye. Am I the only one who's terrified? I start to fall apart when you're not by my side. Whoa, patience, don't leave me. Keep me holding on. I know you've been waiting, I swear. All of my love I will save it if you stay with me, babe. Oh, patience, be with me. Be with me when I'm out of control. Some bridges weren't built to hold. Not all of them are easily mended. Whoa, patience. Give me time, and I might change my mind. Am I the only one who's terrified? You see, I start to fall apart when you're not by my side. Oh, patience, don't leave me. Keep me holding on. I know I've been waiting, I swear. All of my love I will save it if you stay with me. Patience. Suddenly, without warning, something happened. I found patience finally, like it was meant to be. Maybe patience found me. I guess I could talk about the song a little bit before we do the Q&A, but I wrote it because anyone who's ever been bullied in any situation, you know, not just the high school or the, you know, that thing, anyone that's ever been bullied in life, it's kind of like a song for them to say, hey, if you're gonna, you know, you might as well be you, since you can't really be anyone else. So when you are you should be very confident about who you are. So hopefully it, you know, transcends the, I kind of wrote it about a personal situation, which I'll talk about later, but hopefully it'll transcend my situation and help other people realize that too. So we good? Cool. Ever been on the outside looking in, living in a box that doesn't quite fit? Oh, tell me, how many times did you wish that you weren't so different, but you're stuck with the skin you're in? So be who you are. Why try to be someone else? Don't waste your time falling in line. You've got to be undeniable. No fear, no hesitation. You have to be standing tall. When they push you up against the wall, they don't understand you, so they will try to break you down. Whoever you are, be brave, be bold, be undeniable. Oh. Someone told you, keep your head down, blend and play it safe. Do what you gotta do to keep the critics away from now. But when you feel like you just can't win, like it's the world that you're up against, confidence is your best defense. Be proud of who you are. would you try to be someone else? Don't waste your time falling in line. You got to be undeniable. No fear, no hesitation. Stand tall. When they push you up against the wall, they don't understand you, so they will try to break you down. Whoever you are, be brave, be bold, be undeniable. No fear, no hesitation. You have to be standing tall. They push you up against the wall. They don't understand you, so they will try to break you down. Whoever you are, be brave, be bold, be undeniable.
Thanks.
I'm going to come out to you guys now. Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask Rudy Love Jr.?
Don't be shy.
I'll be right there. Hang on.
Thank you, bro.
Well, first of all, thanks for playing. I love your voice. When you're writing a song, do you feel like, is there like a structure you like to use? Do you fight against it? Do you try to avoid like cliches, or is there something that's helpful to you? Or what are your thoughts on like structure?
I would say, as in, from an overall perspective, I put something on Instagram that said like every songwriter that wants to write pop music should learn how to write in common meter, you know, or ballad meter, essentially, because you know you have to understand the derivative and how the music is made from a structured point of view, like what pop music, what we would say the hook, what's the catchy part, what's the bridge and everything. And I've definitely, I kind of wage a war within myself. I always want to stick to a structure, but these last these last couple songs that we did, I decided to do some more instrumental breaks and stuff like that, just to kind of go against that. But I definitely believe that there's a need for structure. Structure is important. But yeah, it kind of goes away live too. I would say when you play something live, you want to go with the feel of what's going on in the room, I guess, or with the players on the stage, or the energy. But I guess where I find balance in it is I start something and then I just kind of let us finish it. Like whoever's the extension of the song. If he's like playing a solo and he's like, oh man, I can hear him. He wants another 8 bars. We'll look at each other and be like, or I'll just know, that we know each other by now. So, I tend to like, try to do things like that, I guess. But as far as writing, yeah, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. It gets boring, but it's it's definitely what's needed. I miss being able to do a 9-minute song and have it be movements. But it's coming back. There's a lot of very innovative people out there. And there always been people that push that envelope of like the the 3 or 4 minute song. I'm giving a very long answer, but let's actually, yeah, I'm sorry. Was that, do you have any more of, yeah, I'm sorry, I do that.
I was just sort of wondering, when you write, do you typically write from the title, or do you tend to write a story and arrive at the title?
As far as the title goes, I guess I'll come up with a concept, and sometimes it won't fit the title. So whatever the general theme of it is, if I can fit it in there, that's good, because I try to make people remember like if it's Problem Child, I want to be like, well, there's a reason why it's Problem Child, or whatever. So, it depends. It really depends. Over the years, I've just written all different. It's come from. Sometimes I'll leave the title completely out of the song. Like, for instance, we were about to do a song called Lumen's song, and it's doesn't have that in it at all, but it's about something. Yeah. So yeah, it's about. Now I could answer, but I want to play it, and then sorry, I'm sound like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Earlier you mentioned that feedback that you've gotten is to try to stay out of your head and be more present, allowing your emotions to really be a part of your writing. What helps you to do that, and do you find that difficult?
Well, I guess the recording versus the performing it, I can usually find, I can play, Superstition and still find emotion, and when I'm performing it. I guess with the writing, or with with that process, I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys help me out with that.
If you're in your head or not?
Yeah. Because, well, no. This is. Go with me on this. Am I?
You are. He lives in his head. What I said was, he lives in his head. So I think that's why we're here to balance him out. Because honestly, he really writes and comes up with everything that we do, and we're kind of puppets, and we kind of fill in, and we're his crew. Remember, we kind of fill in wherever, and we come up with different ideas, and we kind of pull him out of his zone. As he usually stays to himself, and when Rudy's working alone, and you have to kind of go in there and say, hey Rudy, and then he'll be like, no, I'm on to something, but you have to interrupt his something to get him out of there.
Like you said, it's something.
It's something. Yeah. Thank you. I couldn't have answered that question that way.
What's up, Rudy? I've been following you for a while, and I noticed
we went to college together.
Yeah, we went to college together.
Yep, that's my friend.
I noticed when you first started, you were on a keyboard a lot.
Yeah.
And you've kind of gone away from that. Can you speak to what's led you to do that? What led you to pick up the guitar?
Accessibility, as well as I always I went out there to LA, and I did a lot of performing, and the manager that I was working with, the A&R that I was working with, they all told me that I should step away from the keyboard, but and dance, or sing, or just sing, or whatever. So I fought with this thing where I wanted to be able to communicate to the audience as best as possible, and not feel like I had something in the way. So I guess this is still something in the way, but it's a smaller something in the way, and it and it's definitely a lot easier to carry upstairs, I found. This is it just became a passion about August. I started playing, man, and it hit me the same way about 10 years ago when I was playing keys. I would play for 8 hours. But the thing about guitar is, like, now I started playing it, I can pick it up at any time. So it's like, I'm always playing, and it's just become somewhat of an addiction for me, I guess. But yeah. I know it hurts them, but that's why these guys are here for that reason. They're here to cover up all of my blemishes, with their excellent, guitar playing. So, yeah, that's why Wichita is like the city of the most amazing guitarists. I grew up, in my family alone. My uncle Tyree, Judy, my father Rudy Love is a guitarist. and Tony Matthews, my cousin, and there's Sterling Gray, Jerry Hahn, Craig Owens. List goes on. And so for me to do this, it's kind of like, while I'm here, I definitely want to get as much guitar in me as possible, as much guitar, you know.
So it seems from your interview that you work with a lot of different types of collaborators, I mean, even beyond this group.
Oh, yeah.
So what's kind of a deciding factor when you're thinking of your songs and you're developing them and you're choosing between maybe collaborating with one group or individual versus another group or individual? What's your thought process when you're trying to bring other people into your vision for songs?
These days it's so simple, just with the, you know, the technology, it's changed, you know, the way like I can, you know, just be in my motel room in, you know, Austin, Texas or something and send them, you know, tracked out versions of what I've, you know, played on a little MIDI keyboard, you know, the drums or the, you know, try the guitar takes as best as possible. But I feel like the part where the I guess the magic, quote unquote, the part where they make it make sense for me is it's just anyone that kind of speaks the same language, you know, anyone that like I was down in Athens recently, and it's with musicians, and you guys know they just are able to understand me better than most because they've played with me for longer, and we just have this, you know, connection. But the other guys that, you know, the guys around town, it's kind of the same thing, you know. Just tonight I'm missing, you know, 2 or 3 different shows where I could have easily, you know, drug my keyboard in there and, you know, played, or, you know. So I guess it's a community, and it's a bunch of people that understand each other. Even Jeff over there, the sound man, is actually a talented musician that, you know, I wouldn't be afraid to pull him up here right now to play. For particular songs, when I'm writing, you know, like obviously Kyle wouldn't be the first choice to do an acoustic, you know, solo on a thing because he doesn't even have an acoustic guitar. I was like, Kyle, bring your acoustic, man. He was like, I sold it. So I was like, cool, man. You know what? And we made it work. You know, it's just all about, you know, getting in where you fit in. So how about, got anything to add to that? No? I'm sorry, I'm talking so much.
One thing I do think Rudy does really well is writing a song and then feeling what that song is telling him and then finding the musicians that fit that. So I don't get called on certain songs. Totally cool, because there's certain vibes that go. And then there's certain songs that, like I said, Kyle is going to get called on because of...
He doesn't get called all the time because I can't afford him all the time.
That's a lie. But...
No, he's a busy man. You're a busy man.
I mean, it's... And I think that's what good musicians realize, is it's like, unless you have a group that you have one direction, that's the way you're going. But as, I don't know, Rudy has gone far left to far right as far as his sound. And even right now, you know, this is a whole new vibe that even I'm trying to dive into. So it's really cool. And being able to do that and be flexible, I mean, that really keeps the excitement in music, or else you get burnt out really quickly. So
the best way that you can do your craft, man, you know, like so when it comes to like us playing together, for instance, the way that these guys are complimenting this music is they were the people that I could trust, you know, that would give it the time and attention that that it needed, you know, because it needed a lot of time and attention. So, yeah.
Thanks everybody for coming. This is Songwriter Studio. Thank you.
There was a time when the world was cold and covered in darkness, but then someone came and turned on the light. There was a man all alone singing, oh, oh, it's hopeless, but then she smiled and made everything alright. Oh, she's got a light. Oh, she's got a light in her, and where it comes from, I can't count. comprehend. But she doesn't know that a glowing halo hangs over her head. She thinks we're all the same. I'm more like a shadow, barely hanging on a heart to hide my sad soul. But I know I've been changed, 'cause she's got a light. Oh, she's got a light in her. Where it comes from, I can't comprehend. But hold my hand, please help me understand. Would you shine your light on me? Would you shine? Oh, la la. Would you shine your light? Every mistake, every wrong turn I've made, put me on my way to you.